What do you think of when you drive by an RV park? You might be thinking hillbilly, white trash, trailer trash, all of those types of things. But you might not be thinking about how this one RV park at Mountain View RV Resort is a job killer. This single park produces enough cash flow that can kill just about any job I've ever seen anybody have in the corporate world. This property, as you might have guessed, I bought with creative finance, but not seller finance and not subject to. So if I didn't buy it with seller finance or subject to, but I also bought it without using any of my own money, how did I buy this park and what was the structure of the deal? Well, that's what this video is all about today, so let's get into it. All right, here we are at Mountain View RV Park, and I've got some of my friends here, people from our community, SubTo, Gator, Top Tier TC. We're hanging out today, just taking a look at this park and then also fly fishing a little bit later. So this park I bought, how do you guys think I structured this deal? Seller finance, subject to, what do you think was the way I bought this property?
Hybrid.
Hybrid, okay, hybrid, that's a good guess, but wrong.
Seller finance.
Wrong.
Subject to.
Wrong.
BRRRR.
Sadly, I am doing a creative BRRRR on this property. And what is that? That means when I bought the property, I didn't have to use credit. I didn't have to go to a lender. I didn't have to go to a bank, and I didn't have to ask the seller for anything, but I'm also into the deal, no money out of pocket. So how the heck did I buy the property? I brought in a bunch of people from the SubTo community that funded $1.4 million in cash. I'm no dollars out of pocket on this property. We bought it cash. Now, I bought two parks at the exact same time. I bought the other park, which is Glacier Peaks, much larger, 110 units. This only has 41 units.
46.
46, you know more than I do. Perfect. So I bought this one. That one is $5 million. I bought it on seller finance. This one, same seller, wanted to sell this property to us. We tried to buy it on seller finance, but he had a family member involved and they were constantly fighting through a 7-month battle. And I finally just said, I need to close this park so I can do cross promotions between two parks. This park and that park are a mile away. Glacier National Park is 7 miles up the road that way. Whitefish is 7 miles this way. Kalispell is 7 miles this way. This is like the triangle of activity. And I wanted to own this before the summer started so I could launch into the summer, which is the hot season. So we went to the seller and we go, give us a reduction on the price and we'll just close on it cash and I won't ask for seller finance. So I asked students in the SubTo community, hey guys, I'm putting money together and I got $1.4 million plus closing costs, plus $200,000 to do some minor renovations on the property, and I'm already in the middle of a refinance. So I will get, we've already improved the property to the point where when I do my refinance, I will get all of that money back, 100% of it, the $1.6 million that I raised. I raised 1.4 for the purchase, $200,000 for the renovation, and this park will be refinanced and everybody have their money back within about 120 days of close of escrow. Pretty cool. This park generates about $25,000 a month. And by the way, you know what's cool about RV parks? The people who manage your RV park, the camp workers, they do it for free. Why would they do it for free? Why would somebody like Eileen, the lady who you met, we'll B-roll Eileen in here, Eric, if you don't mind. Why would Eileen work for free? And
Free rent. She live here?
Free rent. So she'll stay here every summer. Eileen stays here every summer. There's a website that host campers will actually come in and they'll be the host of your campsite and they'll work for free. Guess what? The maintenance guys also work for free. They just want a place to stay. So we take one of the spots and we give it to Eileen, who will manage it during the summer. Eileen will then go back to Arizona or California and stay somewhere else during the winter, and somebody else will live here during the winter who loves to ski. So every 6 months, we're swapping the person who is the camp helper, and we pay no money in labor. Pretty awesome. That's like 80% of every park I've ever talked to, the person who is managing the park on a day-to-day, answering the phone, they're basically living here just for the rent and the utilities. They get free water, free all that kind of stuff too. Good deal for them. They're retired. They have no rent. They have no expenses. And all they have to do is hang out during the day, and then all night long, you get to go do fun things. And then on the weekends, we have other people, we'll have volunteers that come in on the weekends and they'll spell her off so they can have the weekends here at the park for free as well. Pretty cool. My net cash flow on this property every single year will be somewhere around $70,000 to $80,000 for our first year. And by the end of the second year, because we will stabilize things, we'll make this way more efficient in terms of booking and online reviews and how to find it, we'll be at $150,000 a year on this property, net after everything's paid. That park right now, the other one, does $150,000 a year, and it will be somewhere around $300,000 a year by the end of next summer. And the ways that we're fixing that, the way that Eric, the previous owner, had it set up is this had its own website, that had its own website. The managers did not communicate with each other. So when one was overbooked, they weren't pushing clients here, those clients were going elsewhere. And when you say that, it's like, how do you not know that? Those are the types of situations you're looking for. So here's the best question I think most everybody's gonna ask. Where did we find the deal?
Where'd you find the deal?
We were at a meetup that I was at, and Jordan Reyes approached you and said, I got an RV park. When you said you were looking for an RV park, he said he's got one.
There you go. So good answer. So I found this park by doing meetups. Why do we do meetups? We're doing a meetup tonight, right? I do meetups so I can meet people to do business with, and I can do it in a non-formal setting. So here's where he found it. And if you want to go find an RV park right now, there's two places I would go. Number one, I would go to Crexy.com and I would look up all RV parks that have been listed over 6 months. This park and that park were both listed for over 9 months, and the listing had already gone expired, but the seller was still letting the broker put it online just in case they got an offer. And they were under no formal agreement anymore. The other place you can look is landwatch.com. Landwatch.com has RV parks, hotels, dirt, cabins, resorts, all sorts of stuff. And last time I checked, which was 2 days ago, there's a little over 13,000 listings right now on owner finance. So all you have to do is get a deal like this, especially in the community. Is it hard for us to raise money in our community? No, I could get a property like this under contract, partner with people inside the community as my private money partners, and I could be into a deal like this making, 70, 80 grand a year on one park. Then you start compounding and compounding. Next thing you know, you own 5 parks. Those 5 parks will make you $1 million a year net cash flow.
What was the return of the people who put in the money?
I'm giving them 12%. Now, they could have asked for more, but I'm a better negotiator than most. So they could have come to me and go, well, we want 20% equity, right? But I just said, not giving up any equity. It doesn't make sense for the deal if you want to be on the deal. Now, also people will just want to do a deal with me, right? And so there's the benefit of having a brand and, having a good reputation that you always pay people back. But that was really the most challenging part of the deal, was getting people to go, yeah, I do 12%. Wait, I don't get any equity? We bought the whole thing.
I noticed you had some older, trailers. Do you guys do long-term rental for some of the people maybe that are local? I know you
talk. A great question.
You talk a lot about, cost of living and housing and pad splits, and that's going to be the future. Is that part of the strategy on an RV park?
It's almost like I asked you to ask me that question. So one thing that we learned is that this place goes completely stark during the wintertime. And people do so many rent by the room in Kalispell because it's so expensive to live here, but also the wage growth has not caught up with how much it's grown. The average home in Kalispell is $600,000. Freaking national average is like $415,000, right? It's 50% above the national average. It's hard to live here in Kalispell. So what we decided to do is do long-term rents at a much reduced rate where people bring in their own trailer, or B, we go buy our own trailers and rent them out almost like a mobile home park. We do that at our mobile home parks in Yuma, Arizona. And we were thinking about taking the most undesirable lots and putting permanent spots here so we can have at least 10, 15 spots during the wintertime that are rented out the entire time. We really only need 10 spots, 15 spots rented out any given time to cover our expenses. So, but what hurts is when you're in the wintertime, we're getting out of the wintertime right now and we're probably at 50% occupancy. That's not a problem. If we're at 50% most of the year and then in the summertime, our prices double, and there's people that are like, I will park right there behind the dumpster, just give me a place to stay. It gets overran here. So you make all your money in the summertime, but the rest of the year, how do I get it at 30%, 40%, 50% occupancy? I would make so much money. And the way that we're gonna do that is long-term rents. The cool thing about an RV park is it's based on your income, right? So if I can amplify my income, we bought this for $1.4 million. If I can amplify my income on this property, it's worth $5 million. And so we plan on, in less than 2 years, making the value of this property go up to 5 million, doing another refinance and extracting like 2 or 3 million out of this and then continually compounding around town. My goal is to own 5 to 10 RV parks in the next 3 to 6 years and have them all branded the same. So when you drive around town, it's like a KOA franchise where it's like I know these people. I know, oh, that's the Moose. I don't know what we'll brand it as. We thought about Moose, we thought about all sorts of stuff. That is the goal, and being right here in Glacier, it's the 5th most visited national park in the United States. It is my personal opinion, Jennifer will agree with me, the best national park in the United States by far.
When after you got the private money in place and then you were doing value add and then refinancing, what value add before you refinance this first time? Or
the main thing that we have to do on this property is there was some stuff we had to clean up here. It's now you guys look here and you're like, what is there to do here? We've already done most of it. We're spending 35 grand on a big sign, that a new brand and a new logo. That is not our logo. We have a new one. You saw it on Eileen's shirt. And we're putting money into cars. So I have my little Kia, which I actually bought SubTo. That Kia is going to be on property. We're going to buy a couple of other cars as well, because people who have like the motor coaches, like the Class A, they don't have any cars. So they come in town and they're Ubering everywhere. So we're going to give those cars as free rentals to our people that stay here as a value add. That's usually the biggest opportunity in RV parks or even apartment complexes, is the owner is extracting all the cash to survive in his regular life. And then his lifestyle elevates. So when something happens at the park, he's not willing to pull money out of his lifestyle, his new toys, his second home, his third home, whatever it is. And so he just keeps duct taping everything until it gets to a point where he's like, I don't want to manage this anymore. What I want is our RV parks to have such cool signs, and we're having taco trucks coming here twice a week. We're going to have community events in here, not just for the RVers, but also people in the local community can come over to the spot. We want to be known as like people who are driving value in the community, not just for the RVers, but everybody that's a neighbor in the local area. So we're going to have like painters and all sorts of art shows here. So this parking lot is sizable, but the one at the other park is massive. And so we're gonna have big parties there and blow up things and summer vacation. Like if you're on summer vacation and staying at a hotel down the road, we want you to know that you can come down to our RV park and hang out there during the day, so that next summer you just decide to stay at our RV park. It's things that hotels are just not gonna do. So we're just reinvesting and reinvesting and reinvesting, and imagine playing the patient game of what this park will mean to the community in 10 years. The sign, it's not iconic. Anyway, if you guys have questions about this RV park, make a comment down in the comment section and let us know what your thoughts are. There's so many people that talk about RV parks and stories, and it's not even their RV park. They're like interviewing somebody else about their RV park. This is a park I own, and I want to show you that. So go in the description down below, and we'll see you guys in another video.